I would like to hearken back to a simpler time. Hearken back. I saw a toy commercial today from the I don't even know, maybe the 50s. I guess the B-52 Strato Fortress had just come out. And boy, as children, I got to tell you, even in the 60s, late 60s, I was a little child in 67, 68, 69. And I knew, you could wait. See, here's a part of the Anthony Cumia show thing that we do. I'll talk about something that I have a video for, guys in the booth. I'll talk about something for a little while. And then when I want the video up, I'll just go like, so here's a commercial, and then it comes up. But I talk things up a little first so I could be full camera. That's all. Little tip on how I run things.
Got it. Thank you.
I know Gavin does things different, but okay. So back when I was a kid, there were a lot of toys that would be deemed very politically incorrect. Guns, war. A lot of toys were based on guns and war. And the girls got dolls, and that's what they did. But boys liked playing Army, and G.I. Joe was huge, things like that. Space travel was a big thing. So, little space capsules and rockets and things like that. We loved them as kids. It was fucking fantastic. And war was a big thing, like battling. And they'd put commercials on with little toy guns, and no one really thought. I knew a few parents that when I was growing up that wouldn't let their kids play with toy guns. These kids were known as faggots in our group of friends, the faggots. And my mom tried once. She got into, for like 10 minutes, my mom was kind of hippie-ish and into this anti-war thing and didn't want us playing with guns, with toy guns. And we were just like, that ain't happening. And it kind of worked out like gun control people in this country talk about banning all guns. And if we could just get rid of the guns, because even though my mom didn't want us to play with guns, and she was, she held the purse strings. And if she didn't buy us any new guns, we weren't going to get any new guns. But we already had like a shitload of toy guns. So if the neighbor on a Saturday afternoon got everyone together to play Army, to play Vietnam, we already had our guns. So, whatever, Mom. You're not buying us any new ones. I'd like some of the new ones, but these will do just fine. And we go out there and play Army. So it was a big thing for kids to do that. And the toy makers knew it, and they went out and just started making toys out of everything. When the B-52 Stratofortress came out, the gun emplacements on these things were insane. Quickly, in the B-17s of World War II, these were unpressurized. And it's nuts to think these guys were at some pretty serious altitudes and they had to wear the coats. You've seen the various documentaries and TV shows and stuff. And they would be firing a machine gun out of what was called the waist gunner window. And that was just open to the freezing cold air. And that's how they had to fire their guns. A lot of times their hands would freeze on the metal. Everything was fucking unbelievably cold up there. When the B-52 was made, they wanted to drop bombs from incredible altitudes. So they had to pressurize the inside of the B-52. So you can't have the barrel of a gun sticking out a window in a pressurized cabin. So they had the gun go through. They were mechanical. When you grabbed onto your turret, it wasn't connected to the gun. The gun itself had motors and would turn when you turned it, but it was outside of the pressurized cabin, which is pretty fucking amazing. And it had computer systems that would give the guy firing the gun more of an indication of the enemy's speed and angle that they were coming in, just fucking incredible. And the fucked up thing was that the B-52 would fly at such high altitudes, they didn't have to worry like the B-17s did in World War II about the enemy fighters coming in and shooting them down. B-52s are way the fuck up there. But they had their guns. And a toy maker decided, hey, I'm sure these kids would love being a gunner on a B-52. So a toy company put that out, and this is the commercial for it.
There goes a B-52 jet bomber, America's newest defender. Wish you were part of her crew? Now you can experience this thrill with Remco's big B-52 ball turret gun. Radar scope seeks out the enemy. Snap-on intercom and oxygen mask. Intercom checked. Quick, load ammo. Sights up. Enemy at 2 o'clock high. Open fire! Watch the brilliant tracers flash on target. Thrill to the fingertip response of the ball turret. You're never out of ammo. Just reload and you're ready to attack again. Now get the feeling you're really in a ball turret and really firing. Get Remco's B-52 ball turret gun, complete with oxygen mask, intercom, ammo gauge, radar scope, and turret traverse. $13.98. Remember, every boy wants a Remco toy, and so do girls.
And so do girls. Like you could tell it was just starting. They were like, these girls too, because Remco made, girl toys. So they had to go, Remco, good for toys for boys and girls, by the way, but not this B-52 fucking turret. And like $14? How the hell how did anyone make money back then? That was like, obviously it had something in it, a motor. It had to turn something for the machine gun rounds and the little lights. And then it had some gear system that you'd turn and the thing would turn even more, like a ratioed gear system in there, and plastic and fucking shit. $14 retail. That must have cost like $3 to make. The good old days. My God. The other thing is the kid himself. Could they have picked a more white, Aryan, fucking blonde-haired American boy? That's it. American boys are up in those bombers, bombing those gooks in Vietnam. Oh, it's just fantastic. It was so accepted. You'll want to fly along with them. I sure do. I wonder what how much propaganda that was. Like, did the American military have some kind of a say, a little wink to the toy companies? Like, hey, can you make something that's fun that a kid gets to shoot out of a B-52? So when he gets older, he goes like, yeah, I want to do this for real now. Get recruiting up, something like that. It's fantastic, though. Like back then, that's what they did. Put on the intercom. Let's get those gooks, boys. And a time came where all that just stopped. G.I. Joe was a huge thing, part of my fucking childhood. I loved G.I. Joes. Combat boots, and you put on his camo. Like the standard green olive drab that G.I. Joe came as, outfits sold separately. It was cool, but tiger striped camo, when you fucking went to the store, and I mean, there were a whole aisle was dedicated to fucking G.I. Joe. And there were these little square or rectangular with plastic on them. Like, obviously it's a doll action figure. And you bought clothes for it. But it wasn't like a girl bought clothes. You're buying uniforms and things that he goes into combat with. When you saw that tiger stripe camo, and you had to have it, and then you stripped off the olive drabs and looked at where his dick should be, wondering what happened there. And and then put those tiger striped camo fucking. It's great. He's going to fuck up some Kong, some VC. Victor Charlie's going to pay dearly now that G.I. Joe has his fucking tiger striped camo. And the weapons, you'd buy guns, and then you'd go in your backyard and dig up some fucking shit, make a little fob, and just destroy those gooks. They're out there. Charlie's out there in the bushes. And then, like, obviously by that time, I had gotten old enough where I wasn't playing with G.I. Joes anymore, but I started seeing what happened. They made G.I. Joes small. They shrunk the G.I. Joe. The original G.I. Joes were like this fucking big. And they made them into these little fucking things because it was cheaper. And then they made it where G.I. Joe wasn't fighting commies anymore. He wasn't fighting in the Nam. He wasn't a spy. Remember, there was a spy G.I. Joe. He was dressed in black and with a wool cap like OJ when he murdered Ron and Nicole. And that was your spy with walkie-talkie and a little pistol and shit. And he's spying on the fucking Ruskies, those commie scumbags. And then he got small, and they made him fight like monsters. Who was G.I. Joe's big arch enemy when it was like, G.I. Joe?
Cobra.
Cobra. What is that? That's not a real fucking enemy. Like as it got older, G.I. Joe should have been fighting the fucking ragheads. Osama bin Laden. Big, tall G.I. Joe dressed in like modern, helmet and the night vision. Imagine all the cool shit. G.I. Joe is sending a drone in to kill that sand nick. And he's running drones. G.I. Joe. But they made him fight Cobra. Oh, G.I. Joe. And G.I. Joe, wasn't G.I. Joe the name of the organization? It wasn't a guy. It was like the whole organization was G.I. Joe. Ugh. I don't know. Is it me? Am I the crazy one here? So that stopped. And since then, it's just been, all this nonsense, PC stuff. There's toy commercials out the ass, but you don't see guns anymore. You don't see that. And by the way, when that was going on, show me a school shooting. Show me some kid who fucking brings a gun to school and shoots up his classmates back when most of his toys were guns. You just didn't do it. It wasn't happening. I think the psycho drugs they give kids these days were a lot more dangerous than, make them believe you're a B-52 gunner or having a cowboy and Indians six-shooter. No, none of my friends ever wanted to be the Indians. You had to make the faggot the Indian because he was the one that his mother didn't let him get guns. So he could get a stick and be like, oh, it's my bow and arrow. And you'd kill him anyway. Fuck you, redskin. I played these games. I swear. I used to play these games as a kid. They were wonderful.